Hi, this is Caoimhe and Daire McKenna interviewing our grandmother Teresa Mackey on what Valentia Island was like when the cable station was in operation. Hi Granny, could you tell us a bit about life on the island when the cable station was in operation?
I can, yes. I came to Valentia in 1957 and met your granddad, Adrian. We got married in 1959 and we lived in number 4 Cable Terrace, next door to granddad's parents, Freddie and Kathleen Mackey, and his brother Tony lived in number 9. Both of his grandfathers were superintendents in the cable station. So he was third generation cable Western Union worker, and we lived here until 1965 when the cable station closed. We had to move to Shan. But life in Valentia when we got married was lovely.
Was life on Valentia much different to Listowel?
Totally. First and foremost, Listowel was a busier town, I suppose, and this was a very quiet place, an island. There was no comparison really between Listowel and Valentia. Valentia's a coastal area, an island, and everything was calmer, and we had different lifestyle. But the population of Valentia in those days, when I came here, was much larger. There were far more people. We had 2 doctors on the island. We had 3 shops, much smaller, of course, than in those days.
What was Granddad's job like?
Well, he was what they were called telegraphers, and it was transatlantic cable where all the messages, they were like you send a text message today, it was sent on a printer, and it was sent from here to, as far as I know, to the States and to England. They had different cables for Europe and the States.
What was there to do for fun on the island?
Well, in the summertime it was lovely because we had plenty of swimming and boating, fishing, and in the wintertime there was a cinema, and in the cable station there was a games room, and there were 2 tennis courts.
What kind of shops were on the island?
There were 3 shops. One of them had a bakery attached to it and some hardware, and 2 grocery shops and a butcher's. So there were 4 altogether. If you needed clothes and shoes and footwear and clothes, you had to go to Caoimhe. But there was a train from Reynard Point to Caoimhe, and also sometimes you had to get a taxi. But the ferry boat was, of course, there was farming as well, and we got our milk from a local couple over along the road that had some cattle, and you had to collect it every morning and evening. We grew our own vegetables. We had a fine garden at the back, and we grew our own vegetables. Yeah, my sister lived just 5 minutes away from me in Ringlass. She married Brendy Sugro, and my mother lived with her for some years, so I had family nearby.
Were there many cars on the island?
There were, as far as I can remember, there may have been 4 cars. The doctors had 1 each, and the priest had 1, and I think John Lyne, who was connected with the gigs, and there's there were some tractors as well. Also, our fuel came from local bogs, and it was delivered in a donkey cart or a pony cart, and into the back of the houses here.
When the cable station closed in 1965, what happened?
Some of the staff moved to London with Western Union, but we decided, because we had a small family, or a young family, we moved to Shannon, and our lives completely changed.
Were you upset when it closed?
Yes, it was totally different. It was a different way of life altogether. When we moved to Shannon, Granddad had to change jobs, and then we moved to Cork, and we were there for a few years and came to Tralee. We lived in Tralee for a few years, and then we came back to Valentia. So it was like a circle, and we retired here.